There's countless martyrs and saints during the Roman era, but the most famous of them all is Saint Sebastian, essentially he's believed to have lived and died during the reign and persecution of Diocletian. This is in the late 3rd century A.D. Now, Saint Sebastian, according to legend, was a very handsome young soldier who so pleased the Roman Emperor Diocletian that he promotes him to captain of the Praetorian Guard. Essentially, Emperor Diocletian, he has a crush on Sebastian and wants to sleep with him. Now, Sebastian is a very, very devout Christian who secretly uses his position of power to give comfort to victims of Diocletian's persecutions. For example, in the dungeons, there's 2 condemned Roman noblemen who have converted to Christianity, Marcus and Marcilian. Well, the families of Marcus and Marcilian plead with the 2 Roman noblemen to save themselves. Please appease the Roman officers. Do what they tell you. Accept the emperor as your god and make sacrifices at the pagan temple. Well, Sebastian speaks to and comforts the families and urges them to welcome their loved ones' martyrdom and death, because, according to Sebastian, they will soon sit at the right hand of the Father and will then prepare a celestial dwelling place for the rest of the families. Now, as he speaks to the families, there's a startling manifestation that takes place. Angels appear, and the onlookers and the families, essentially, they fall to the feet of Sebastian, and a miracle takes place. A woman known as Zoe, who has not spoken for years, who has become mute, who has lost the ability to speak, is healed by Sebastian. She can now speak. Sebastian loosens the men's chains, opens the cell door, but the 2 Roman noblemen refuse to escape. They will not give up their spiritual victory. Now, there's a prefect who hears about the healing of Zoe, and he's suffering greatly. He's very, very sick, and he summons Sebastian and asks Sebastian to cure him. Sebastian tells the prefect, "First, you must renounce the worship of false gods and empower me to demolish all your idols. Only then will you regain your health." Well, the prefect is so sick that he gives Sebastian the authority to do this, and Sebastian quickly destroys 200 idols in the home of the prefect. But the Roman nobleman remains in great pain. Sebastian soon realizes that the prefect has been holding back, and confronts the prefect and the prefect's son, whose name is Tiberius, I believe, and says, "Well, all pagan decorations must be destroyed in order for you to be cured." Well, the son of the prefect, Tiberius, warns Sebastian that if he doesn't heal his father, he's going to have him roasted alive. So, the room is essentially dismantled, and all the remaining pagan bric-a-brac is destroyed. While this is happening, an angel appears to the prefect and tells him, "Lord Christ has cured you," and he is miraculously healed. Well, the prefect and his son Tiberius, along with 1,400 of their followers, family, and slaves, quickly become baptized and are converted to Christianity. Now, while this has been happening, Sebastian's activities have not escaped the notice of the Roman authorities. The woman Zoe, the mute woman cured by Sebastian, is seized and hung upside down and burned alive. She's given a martyr's death. The prefect and the son are ordered to forsake Christ or walk barefoot over burning hot coals. Well, they're not going to renounce their new faith, and they are quickly, they are forced to walk over hot coals and then quickly beheaded. All right, now the 2 gentlemen sitting in the dungeon, Marcus and Marcilian, they go joyfully to their deaths. They are tied to stakes and killed by sword thrusts. Now, Sebastian is summoned in chains. He's summoned in chains, taken to the Emperor Diocletian. And Diocletian, remember, Diocletian is in love with Sebastian. And he tells him, "You have been acting secretly against me. You have been helping the condemned Christians and have offended me and have offended the gods." And Sebastian simply answers, "I have prayed for your salvation." Well, this really pisses off Diocletian, and he orders that Sebastian must die. Sebastian is sentenced by the emperor to be shot by archers. He's tied to a post at the center of camp and riddled with arrows. The torment of Sebastian was to become one of the most popular subjects with Christian artists, and there's many representations or depictions of this beautiful young man transfixed by arrows. Now, Sebastian is thought dead by the Roman authorities, and everyone thinks he's dead, but his body's taken away by other Christians in the dead of night. Well, miracle upon miracles, Sebastian is still alive, and the Christians take him in, hide him in secret, and nurse him back to health. Well, soon afterwards, after he heals up, Sebastian reappears at the palace steps and confronts the Emperor Diocletian. He shouts at the emperor, "The Lord has revived me in order to rebuke you for all the evils that you have inflicted on the followers of Christ." Of course, Diocletian doesn't like this very much. He's astonished to find Sebastian still alive, and he quickly orders his immediate execution. And Sebastian is beaten to death with clubs. Now, is this historical fact or fiction? We don't really know. The only fact that we have is that Sebastian is martyred in Rome. We don't really know much else. Now, scholars and historians claim that Saint Sebastian is a 5th century AD invention. Yet, over the course of many centuries, countless good works and miracles have been attributed to Sebastian's divine intervention. So this isn't so easily explained away. Now, of course, Sebastian's emblem is an arrow, and he's the patron saint of archers, soldiers, and athletes. And his feast day is January 20th. All right. So, of course, Sebastian is one of the most well-known and popular of all the saints. All right, with that thought, we're going to take another musical break. When we come back, we're going to get into the lives and legends of two of the most important and influential saints, who scholars argue are not fact, but legend, St. Christopher and St. George. But first, a little bit more music. This is Tom Waits with the classic song, "Hang On, St. Christopher."